Sometimes the news just hits you like a ton of bricks,
Yeah.
and this week it was the passing of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa.
Yeah, a true Hollywood legend gone.
Hackman, I mean, the French Connection, unforgiven, need I say more?
Exactly, and it's not just the loss of such a talent, it's the mystery surrounding their deaths that has everyone talking.
This is not your average celebrity passing, folks. This is a full-blown mystery unfolding right before our eyes.
And that's why we're here to unpack it all for you on The Other Opinion.
So if you love a good mystery, hit that subscribe button right now and buckle up because we're going deep on this one.
We're going to break down all the details as we get them, but let's start with the basics. What do we know for sure right now?
Okay, so the when and the where, lay it on us.
February 28th, 2025, that's when they were found in their Santa Fe home.
Okay.
Betsy in the bathroom, Gene in the mudroom, and get this, one of their 3 dogs was dead too.
Hold on, already, this is getting creepy, but the police are calling it suspicious. Does that mean foul play? Was there a sign of a struggle or a robbery?
That's the strange part. No forced entry, no signs of a fight, nothing was stolen.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of things that just don't add up.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Hit that like button if you are too.
We're about to get into the nitty-gritty, the police affidavit. This is where the story really starts to unfold.
All right, let's hear it.
First oddity. The front door was ajar, not forced open, but wide open. Then new Betsy, a space heater, an open pill bottle with pills scattered everywhere, and we don't even know what kind yet.
Wait, you said one of their dogs was found dead. Where near Betsy?
You got it. That's another piece of the puzzle. 1 dog dead by Betsy, the other 2 alive, 1 in the bathroom, 1 outside.
And Gene?
And Gene's body totally separate in the mudroom. No sign of a gas leak or anything obvious like that.
This is wild, folks. Drop a comment with your theories so far because this is shaping up to be one heck of a mystery.
A real head-scratcher.
So we've got a scene straight out of a crime drama, but no clear answers. What are investigators focusing on right now?
Well, they're trying to build a timeline, which is proving to be tough. Gene and Betsy were notoriously private people. The last event recorded by Gene's pacemaker was February 17th. Meaning they could have been deceased for almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and nobody reported them missing.
Nope. Their private nature seems to have extended to their social lives. No close friends, checking in, no missed appointments that raised flags.
Wow, so investigators are digging into phone records, bank statements, anything to retrace their steps in those final weeks.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Every phone call, every text, every online purchase, it all leaves a trace, a digital footprint.
So it's not just about what they did, but who they were in contact with.
Exactly. And that could be the key to finding someone who saw them in those crucial final days.
It's like those true crime podcasts. Everyone's hooked on every little detail. It cracked the case wide open.
Absolutely.
So make sure you're subscribed to The Other Opinion so you don't miss any of the twists and turns as this story unfolds.
And don't forget to share it with your friends who love a good mystery too.
All right, so back to those missing 2 weeks. What's got investigators stumped?
It's the lack of routine with someone as private as the Hackmans. A break in their usual pattern could go unnoticed for a while.
It's a sad reminder to check in on the people we care about, even if they value their solitude.
Couldn't agree more. A simple phone call could make all the difference.
Okay, so we've got the scene, the timeline. What are the evidence besides phones and computers? What else have they collected?
Medications, medical records, even their 2025 planner.
Their planner?
Yep. Each of these could hold a vital clue. Think about it. Their planner could show appointments, meetings, anything that might help establish a solid timeline.
It's like building a picture of their lives day by day.
Precisely looking for anything out of the ordinary.
So they're combing through all of that. What about the toxicology reports? Those can take a while, can't they?
They can take months, unfortunately,
Oh.
but those results could be key to understanding if there was something in their system that contributed to their deaths.
Okay, and the autopsy? Any early findings? Any obvious cause of death?
So far, no external trauma on either body, no stab wounds, no gunshot wounds, no signs of a struggle.
So no obvious signs of foul play and no obvious injuries. What happened? This is where it gets really interesting, right, folks?
We're diving deeper into this bizarre case next time on The Other Opinion, so stay tuned. We're back with The Other Opinion and diving even deeper into the mysterious deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa.
Okay, so we left off with a whole lot of questions, no obvious cause of death. A bizarre scene. It's baffling.
It really is. And if it were a clear case of, foul play or even a simple accident, it'd be much easier to wrap our heads around. But
Right.
But with no forced entry, no signs of injury, it just throws a wrench into everything.
And the fact that they were found in different rooms with the dog deceased near Betsy just adds to the strangeness of it all.
Exactly. It's almost as if we're looking at two separate incidents that happen to occur under the same roof.
So investigators are trying to untangle this mess, but we've got this gap in the timeline too, right?
Right. We know the last signal from Gene's pacemaker was February 17th, so they could have been gone for almost 2 weeks before anyone knew.
2 weeks. That's a long time. It's a chilling thought, really, and it makes you think about how easy it is to get caught up in our own lives and forget to check in on the people we care about.
Absolutely. Even a quick phone call can make a world of difference.
If you're listening to this right now and you haven't called your parents or a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, do take a moment to connect.
Back to the investigation, though, one of the toughest things is figuring out who last saw Gene and Betsy alive, and when. Were there any warning signs, any hints of trouble leading up to this?
But they were so private. Weren't they not exactly the type to be out and about all the time?
Right. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but that's where those seemingly insignificant details come in the medications, the medical records that plan that.
What could those things really tell us, though? Can a prescription bottle really reveal what happened in their final days?
Well, think about it. The medications could show any pre-existing conditions or health concerns. Maybe something took a sudden turn for the worse.
And the planner.
The planner could show appointments, commitments, anything that might help build a clearer timeline. Maybe they missed a lunch date or canceled a doctor's appointment.
It's like trying to piece together their lives bit by bit, looking for anything that stands out.
Exactly. Any red flags that might point to what happened.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button if you find this case as perplexing as we do. And don't forget to subscribe to The Other Opinion for more deep dives like this one.
We love getting your other opinions, so leave us a comment below with your thoughts and theories. What do you think happened? What clues stand out to you?
Okay, so we've got the scene, the timeline, the evidence. But what about the people involved? What are the authorities and the family saying about all of this?
Well, the sheriff's office is being pretty tight-lipped so far, just emphasizing the need for a thorough investigation and asking for patience.
Right, and the family.
The family released a short statement expressing their grief and requesting privacy, which is understandable.
It's a heartbreaking situation no matter what the circumstances turn out to be.
It is. It reminds us that behind the fame and fortune, these were real people with loved ones who are now grieving.
Okay, so where does this leave us? What are the big takeaways from everything we've discussed so far?
We know Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were found dead in their Santa Fe home, and the circumstances are definitely suspicious. No obvious cause of death. The scene has a lot of strange elements that don't quite add up.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, and boy, oh boy, the plot thickens.
Right. The deeper we go, the more questions we seem to have.
Like we've got this puzzle in front of us, the scene, the timeline, the evidence, but we're missing some big pieces.
It's true. It's true.
So let's talk theories. What are some of the possibilities that investigators might be looking at?
Well, given the lack of obvious foul play, one theory is that this was just a tragic accident.
Okay, but what kind of accident could explain all of this? It's not like they both just tripped and fell at the same time.
It's possible that Betsy's death was somehow related to that space heater and the medication they found near her.
You think maybe she accidentally knocked the heater over, or was there a fire we haven't heard about yet?
It's possible, or maybe she had a bad reaction to the medication, the wrong dose or the wrong combination, something like that.
Okay, but then what about Gene? If Betsy died first, did he have a medical emergency from the shock of it all? Or maybe he tried to help her and something went wrong.
It's possible grief can manifest in unexpected ways. Maybe he just couldn't handle the loss. And, well, we don't want to speculate too much, but it's definitely a scenario investigators are considering.
So accidental death is on the table, but what else are they looking at?
Well, they can't completely rule out foul play, even without those obvious signs.
But wouldn't they have found something by now? Fingerprints, DNA, a weapon?
You'd think so, but it's not impossible. Maybe someone tampered with the scene, or maybe there's a clue they've just overlooked.
It's a long shot. But they got to keep an open mind, right?
Exactly. We're only seeing a small part of the story, what's been released to the public. Behind the scenes, who knows what they're looking at?
All right. I'm officially hooked. What do you think will be the turning point in this case? What should we be looking out for?
Those toxicology reports are going to be huge. They could tell us if there was something in their system that played a role in their deaths. Imagine if they find traces of a sedative.
Oh, that would point toward an accidental overdose or even something more sinister.
Exactly. Or if they find something unexpected, something that doesn't fit the picture at all, that could completely change the direction of the investigation.
And what about the people they interacted with? Any leads there?
Investigators are still trying to figure out who saw them in those final weeks, but with their private lifestyle, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
So they're looking at phone records, bank statements, maybe even security footage from nearby businesses, anything to find someone who can shed some light on those missing days.
Got it.
Wow, it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle, and we're all waiting to see the final picture.
That's the nature of truth. Isn't it often elusive? Even the simplest situations can be complex and nuanced.
That's why we do these deep dives. It's not just about reporting the news, it's about digging deeper, exploring the human element behind the headlines.
Couldn't agree more, and we love doing it with you, our amazing listeners.
Speaking of our awesome listeners, we want to hear from you. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this deep dive, and don't forget to subscribe to The Other Opinion for more discussions just like this one.
And tell your friends who love a good mystery, too.
Right, and drop a comment below with your own other opinions on the case.
Yeah.
What do you think happened? What clues stand out to you? We love reading your thoughts.
We really do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways for everyone following this story?
Patience first and foremost. This is an ongoing investigation. Let's let the authorities do their work and avoid jumping to conclusions.
And let's avoid spreading rumors or those crazy theories. We all love a good mystery, but it's important to stick to the facts as we know them.
Absolutely. And finally, let's use this case as a reminder to cherish our loved ones and let them know how much we care. A phone call, a text, it can make all the difference.
Well said. And we'll continue to follow this story as it develops, and we'll keep you updated.
In the meantime, stay curious, stay informed, and keep those other opinions coming.
And just a quick note before we sign off. Remember, this deep dive was brought to you by the power of AI. We do our best to bring you accurate and insightful information, but remember to do your own research and consider multiple perspectives after all. That's what makes life interesting.